take gold right now at 33.75, up $20 today. 33.75 divided by 42. Silver should be $80 an ounce right now, and that would represent the average price of the last 150 years. If you took the same gold price of 33.75 and divided it by 7, that's what it's coming out of the ground at $482. If you woke up tomorrow morning and silver was $482, people are saying, "Yeah, right, BS." I think it's the value of a generation, Adam, and so do a lot of people, I think, at a much higher level than you and I, and that would be, for example, the big money that just brought in more silver on the May contract than ever has been delivered into COMEX. Wasn't so easy for me to say. What I'm trying to say is whoever is importing all this silver just brought in the largest delivery in the history of the COMEX on the May contract. Same thing in gold, by the way. But this is a phenomenon that we are seeing, how China is gobbling up everything and using it in terms of playing the long game, acquiring it for their country for years to come. They're the second largest producer of, his name's Eric Young, by the way, and the second largest producer of silver in the world, and they're flying all around South America buying doré and concentrate from Latin American miners, disintermediating the marketplace. So here you have the second largest producer in the world who is flying all around Latin America buying unrefined silver right from the miners so that the market doesn't have any idea how much they're buying, paying double what the West will, shipping it back to China and refining it. You have Russia, who has openly said they're adding it to their strategic stockpile. You have India, has bought over 900 million ounces in the last 5 years. That's more than the COMEX and the LBMA combined. And now all of a sudden you see these massive deliveries coming into the COMEX market here in the United States. This is crazy what's happening. And the price is being held down on levered futures contracts, where in London you have roughly a 290 million ounce float, the amount of ounces that are there, but they're trading 2.9 billion ounces a day, 10 times the float, 3.5 times annual global mine supply. They've been able to hold down the paper price. And we've talked about the why, the military industrial complex, and the need for silver and high-tech weapons. But I think when you see these kind of deliveries into COMEX, that reeks of something much bigger than we are being led on to believe. Now, in terms of its technical pattern, we're at almost a 20-year cup and handle formation. And at $35, you're kind of at the bowl, right at the tip of the bowl before it breaks out, the way gold already has. We are right there. Doesn't mean it's going to happen yet. The cartel, who's been holding down the paper price for a very long time, is more powerful than I would like to admit. But being naked short in this market is as dumb as a mud wall and an existential threat to a lot of these companies. So I don't think there's anything that I've ever seen that offers the asymmetrical risk-reward profile that silver does. In terms of downside, I think it's as muted as anything you'll ever try to invest in. In terms of upside, it's probably better than anything. And even if we just took the 150-year price average, which is suppressed, or the ratio between the two of 42-1, even though it's coming out of the ground right now, it's 7-1, meaning 1 ounce of gold for every 7 ounces of silver in the ground. It used to be 16-1 for 5,000 years. Now it's depleting, so it's 7-1. With all of that being said, for the last 100+ years, it's averaged, because of gold's role as money and silver's role in industry in the West, at about 42-1. So if you take gold right now at 33.75, up $20 today, 33.75 divided by 42, silver should be $80 an ounce right now, and that would represent the average price of the last 150 years. If you took the same gold price of 33.75 and divided it by 7, that's what it's coming out of the ground at $482. If you woke up tomorrow morning and silver was $482, people are saying, "Yeah, right, BS." That's the geologic ratio. Ask Keith Neumeyer if you ever talk to him. He's a buddy of mine. He'll tell you on your show publicly it's coming out of the ground at 7-1. He's the CEO of First Majestic. He says it to me all the time. So somewhere between that 7-1 and the historical ratio of 16-1, even the 42-1 average price ratio since the Industrial Revolution, we're way undervalued, way undervalued. And I don't know of another asset that offers the kind of value where you're seeing the biggest money in the world go to massive lengths, not only to accumulate it, to disintermediate it, and to repatriate it, and to stand for delivery. These things we've never seen before, but they're using the suppression of the paper market in order to do that. I think it's the trade of a generation. And if you really want to talk about a speculative trade where you can clean up, and especially for an IRA, you can trade your gold into silver. Why an IRA? Because there's no taxes involved in it. Those transactions are tax-free. You buy silver at 100-1. All it does is get to its 150-year average of 42-1. That's over a double. And if it gets anywhere near its geologic ratios, guys like Bix Weir say, well, you're talking 11 times undervalued silver is. And this is what happens when you suppress markets for an extended period of time. The difference is now these countries that are standing up to the West are coordinated, motivated, sophisticated, wealthy, and they know what we're doing. And so they're standing for delivery as a way, playing the long game to I think, subsidize their future endeavors and using not only their trade imbalances, but the dollars. And it's funny because like China, as an example, China is now trying really, really hard to use dollars to buy gold and silver with.